Good evening. Good evening. Welcome on into our Urban One Baltimore Business and Focus Spotlight Series sponsored by our family over at Fulton Bank. We're spotlighting prominent African American business leaders in Baltimore area who are pushing the business community forward. And tonight, our special guests are doing just that and so much more. Let's kick things off with Dion Waldron McNeil, who is the Vice President Community Outreach Officer over at Fulton Bank. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Persia. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow. See, I
Yes,
double week, so we can get better than that.
yes, exactly. I'm so excited, so excited.
Absolutely. Let's kick this off. What are we doing tonight?
All right, so I just wanted to say good evening to everyone. And here at Fulton Bank, we are a proud partner with Radio One on this wonderful program in which we shine a spotlight on prominent African American business people in Baltimore area that are pushing business community forward in their respective disciplines. Here at Fulton Bank, we strive to go beyond expectations and we help change lives for the better. And so every single day, we are out here doing the work to really change lives for the better. So whether it's just helping people get right on financially or providing businesses with resources to grow, we are here to assist each and every one of them. And so this month, Black History Month, we're saluting businesses and business leaders that align with the Fulton Bank's vision and goals. And so we thrive in returning to help our communities and then remember that, you know, serving our community is also great business. And so we are excited to partner with Radio One to really highlight our Black-owned businesses that are
Oh, Dion, where you go, Dion? Okay, well, while Dion gets it together over there, we're going to keep it rolling on. And thank you so much for being part of our amazing Spotlight series tonight as you're watching from wherever you're at on Facebook. Oh, there we go. Hey, Dion.
Yep. Hey, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry. So, you know, this is what happens with technology, right? It
Okay,
just
we
goes
all
out.
know.
Right. But I'm saying that, you know, we here at Fulton Bank, you know, it's really a lot about us just giving back to the community, helping our businesses grow, working with partners that really help our small businesses grow. And so I want everyone to just, you know, take that time to go out and visit us at fultonbank.com and, you know, enjoy this conversation that's going to be coming up next with Shelonda Stokes.
I'm so excited about this. And there she is.
Yes,
Yes.
Hey, Shelonda.
yes,
Hi, Shelonda.
this is exciting.
Yes, very exciting. And so thank you so much, Shelonda, for everything that you do to really help our businesses in downtown Baltimore, across the state. And so I want to welcome you to the Radio One Business Focus for Black History Month. And everyone, Shelonda Stokes, CEO of Downtown Partnership.
Thank you. Well, yeah. I had did my own hand claps and all that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Dion.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you
Fulton
so
Bank.
much also to Fulton Bank as well. I know that this is a busy, busy time for you, Shalonda, and we're so grateful for you being here with us today because I really do feel like everything you touch turns to gold in the city. I watch everything that you do on
you.
social media. I feel like it just is so great. And since you've become the president, you know, I didn't really just feel like, I feel like you're the president of the United States. I'm like the president, okay, because hello. It really has been a great time to be a Baltimore City resident. And I just want to say thank you and congratulations on everything you've done so far.
Thank you. And thank you for being the voice that I love to hear all the time. Please, you know, I got to give love to your mom, my
Yeah.
friend. I love all of that. And so I just think 92Q and just the whole Radio One family
Yeah.
has filled the void for us. And so just really excited about it.
Yeah.
And Magic 95.9, of
Yes.
course, where you are. Just the whole Radio One family is just, you guys are the pulse of the city. I think keeping the culture and keeping what's important in front of us. And so I'm appreciative.
Absolutely. As a Black entrepreneur and as a leader in a city, what has been some of the biggest highs for you and some of the lows as well? And how did you overcome or still overcoming some of the lows? Because
Oh my God.
things to get past, but then also it's great to see your highs.
It's interesting. So in Persia, a number of people don't really know. I mean, I'm everything Baltimore. Everything
Yes.
that's about Baltimore is me. And one of the things that I've learned over the years and I appreciate in our city so much is our grit and our
Mhm.
grind
Yeah.
in it. When you talk about the lows for me, and I'm gonna get a little bit emotional right now. Many people know probably the lowest thing that's happened in my life is losing my brother last year. That was traumatic
Mhm.
for my family, for somebody who's just been such a staple. But I balance it, and I've been able to. One of the pastors who's really counseled us helped us put it in perspective also around, and he gave like this visual of all of the negative thing, all of the lows, right, that you hold in this suitcase. And he gave a visual that you're holding and it kind of weights you down. If I'm holding in my left, it just holds me down. And
Mhm.
you balance it. The way that you're able to pull yourself up is you got to put something in that other hand to
Mhm.
bring balance. And those are the highs. And
Mhm.
so when you talk about our city and our people and our businesses and all of the things that are happening in our city right now, it is an amazing high. We
Mhm.
coming into downtown alone about 6 billion with a B dollars worth of investment.
Mhm.
And that is something that, it starts to weight it. And how do we use that to make sure that we are being respectful and inclusive and all of that for all of our citizens?
Yeah, and I commend you because you have a high role and it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And it comes with having to speak with people every single day. And, some days when you just kind of can't get out the bed mentally, you're like, oh my God, I just can't do it. You have to keep pushing and get through it. But I think people have to realize all of us are human. You go through things, but you have to keep on pushing to excel and push for your community and our culture.
You have to. Mental health is real, and I think
Yeah.
many of us experienced it closer coming out of the pandemic or going through the pandemic. Right,
Hmm.
there were people. It was relationships made and broken, and
Okay.
a lot of lives lost, and jobs lost, and money, and people trying to shift. And so I think it forced us to all look inside a little bit more, to seek help where we could, to do
Yeah.
those things that we knew could balance out what we need. What was great about this time, though, I think it gave us a chance. People started buying bikes and riding and walking and
Mhm.
doing more things connected. But you're right, like we need to lean on each other. And for me, I think part of what sustained us was you guys. It was the love, it's the text messages, the calls, the, flowers and soup and whatever people did. What I love about our city, we come together and we know how to rally around each other for support.
And that's the most important part right there. But I think still people might have some fear or doubt with building a business, right? And how
Oh,
to get started. Because, you'd be like, okay, well, is businesses welcomed? Is Black businesses welcomed in Baltimore City? Are they trying to push us out and bring other people in? But really, that's not the reality. Really, it's a time since COVID, especially, taught us, hey,
yeah.
build a business, put it in the city. It's a beautiful place to start a business, and our culture is so prominent in Baltimore City. Would you agree?
It really is. I mean, we're a majority minority city. And
Yeah.
so part of what we want to make sure we're doing is making our city reflective of those demographics. Specifically for downtown, we want to make sure that people know we want business to thrive here. And so we created a program called Boost, and that stands for Black owned and operated storefront tenancy. This is a program where post COVID, we knew we had an increase in ground level vacancies, right? And so you had beautiful retail spaces.
Mhm.
And we talked to Black and brown businesses and say, you know what, I'd love to have a retail space, but fill in the blanks. I don't have the money. I don't have the opportunity to build out. I don't. And so part of it was us curating and crafting a program that seeds them with up to $50,000 to help with all of that. And we pair
Wow.
it with other programs. The state has a Project Restore initiative where you get a year free rent.
Mm.
Dennis came in and sponsored, is our title sponsor this year for the initiative. And we provide, in addition to the money, marketing, legal, um, financial, any of those curriculum type things that we need to help them build and grow. we want to do that. So anybody who's feeling like, you know what, I want to start a business and I feel like I can't do it in Baltimore, you can. And it's more organizations. Downtown Partnership is doing it. BDC is doing it. Like, there are so many organizations who really want to help make that happen.
Yeah, you can and you will.
You can and you will.
Yeah. CIAA, of course, is back in the city. We're so excited about this. Crazy, right? It came so fast, though. I was like, oh my God, like, we're here, right?
I think it came fast for us. Just imagine the arena,
Right.
if you're trying to redevelop the arena in this process, they had a year. Because after
I saw you with your hard hat on.
Yes. Did you see me with the little hammer thing? I didn't do that well with that, but but they had a year. They had, and you talk about renovating a $250 million renovation. Pharrell is a part, Kevin Durant is a part, you know what I mean? So it's an amazing team, but a year when you know that supply chain and all of these other things aren't necessarily, but it looks amazing. If you have not gone in, you have to go into that arena or just feel the energy that's happening in our city right now. It is amazing.
Also, let's talk about the Black-owned restaurant week that's happening right now, right?
Yes, that is BORT, the Black-owned restaurant tour.
Oh, so that's in addition to the retail, right?
That is in addition to the retail. So there are a number of initiatives that are happening. So Events for Good People, if anybody knows Ezekwe, curated a really great experience with our Black-owned restaurants, giving you a taste of them all. So you get, a little bit of Black Swan and Magdalena's, because people hadn't gone there. You get some Bar One, you get some Hood Fellas. Like, it was a way to really bring together a lot of our Black-owned restaurants so people could experience them and experience them in a way that it was connected. And we're on day 4, I think, and the turnout has been great. The restaurants, we were there at Magdalena's last night, and people had never gone there. So that is, you think about a restaurant in the Ivy Hotel, Black-owned, have top tier and we don't know about it. And so some of it is us getting out and exposing. And what the CIAA does is creates an opportunity for Black excellence to be on display. And so when we bring all of those tourists here and everybody, we want to make sure we are showing our city in her best light.
Yes. And I think that's what's the great part about it, too, is because when you start a Black business, you have so much support coming from the city, like weeks like this. And it's not just for Black History Month. You all do so much year round, 365, 24/7. And even like you said, with the free rent of the buildings, there's so many different resources to grab while starting the business right now.
Oh, it absolutely is. And Mayor Scott has been very intentional about really focusing on equity. And making sure that we all have a seat at the table. And I think that's great. You pair that with Governor Moore coming in now and just the overall leadership that we have. And if we can't figure out how to change, Atlanta, what? Right. Baltimore is where it's going to be. And so we're just really excited about it.
And think about our leaders. I mean, we got a Black mayor, we got a Black governor. I mean, it is a time to be Black.
It is. This is our time. And what people, I hope they know, and it's building on, we also have more money coming in than we ever had. I mean, when I said we have $6 billion coming in investment from State Center all the way down to our stadium complex. We have a Top Golf. This is our Baltimore. We brought in a group here from the Urban Land Institute to help us blueprint. They looked at us. They were like, y'all have all of these amazing assets. I mean, they were ready to start cursing at us. What the boop boop? And part of it is we have these things, maybe not showcase them all, but we need to connect them. And we all need to feel a part of that. And so excited, the Harbor Place is coming back. And do you know a Black brother has it? Wow. David Ramble has, and he's, what's so amazing, he's a part of Baltimore. He lived in the same house that he did growing up, but has, just taken over in such a great way and wants to make sure that as they rebuild the harbor, that your Harbor Place, that you're building in the great stuff that we love. Remember the fudgery and all of those authentic, it is us type of things. And so just think about what that's going to do to the whole ecosystem of our city.
I can't wait. Over at Fulton Bank, they have some great resources as you start a new business, from
Oh
cash
my
flow
God.
management, and so many more different steps as to how do I even start? How do I save? How do I do this? What should I move money over here? As a successful entrepreneur yourself, and of course, as a leader in the city, what would you say are some key elements to starting a new business?
First, get with Fulton Bank
Okay,
because I know one of the things that they've done, and I know Dion was on for a while, that
yeah.
is a partnership bank. You want to have somebody who, especially if this is your first time, that can really provide the right counsel to
Hmm.
get you set up in the way and get you in the right places. I love them for a number of reasons. I don't know if you know, I'm a regent at Morgan State University, and they
Go
opened
Bears, the best
right.
HBCU.
Yes, and they opened a branch over there, and it's thoughtful, and it is sometimes it's you have to make sure that you have a partner that can meet you where you are to help take you where you want to be.
Hmm.
And they're a great partner. So that's one, making sure that you have a banking relationship. Access to capital is extremely important. And that's usually one of the things that we lack.
Hmm.
People would do the friends and family, I think, trying to get it, depending on the business type. There are different levels of investment. I know when I started Grable, part of what I was I had a fear of debt. You
Hmm.
know, I mean, you saw what happened with your parents and all, and so I
Yeah.
didn't. And so I think our growth was slower as opposed to having really a thoughtful engagement about the type of capital that I would need. I think that's one thing that people will need. And in Persia, I subscribe to this notion of if you're not failing daily,
Mm.
you're not stretching, so you're not growing. And one
Ooh.
of the things that happens, I know, especially for me when I was in business, is this the right thing? Is it not? You're nervous, you hold on to stuff. You really have to get out there and you have to stretch in
Hmm.
order to grow.
Mm. I feel like I'm in church. I'm all like, and every time you talk about, preach, preacher. Let's get into the financial preparing your business as well, since we're talking about this. Before we wrap things up, on the Downtown Partnership of Baltimore website, I saw under economic development, there's a section for financial support for downtown businesses, grants and things like that. Let's talk about that really quick.
We do. We have a number of grants and opportunities. Boost is one of the main ones. Like I said, that's up to $50,000 for people who want to start their business. I mean, you have to be in business a year for that one. So that one is for businesses that are established but need a little to take them to the next level. And so we have the first 5 of our Boost cohort who are out there now thriving and growing. And we have a Boost application that's open now on our website. It closes at the end of March. So we hope people will go to that. But in addition to that, we have a storefront grant. We have tech grants. We have a number of them that are on GoDowntownBaltimore.com for people to see the myriad of opportunities. And if it's not there and something that you don't find, don't worry. We're going to help you try to connect the dots because, like I said, we're not the only organization, but we are a conduit to a number of other opportunities.
Yeah, and I feel like you always connect the dots. Like
We
you
have
said,
to connect
if
the
you're not
dots.
doing it, somebody else is, like Fulton Bank or whomever. So there's so many different resources to get out there and start your business right now. And don't be afraid, just do it and like stretch, just like you said.
And stretch. I mean, people, it's so funny. I remember, I mean, it's dating back, but I recall watching my mom not eat. That's how poor we were, right? And
Mhm.
I remember she would, with my brother and we would eat, and then she might, kind of go behind us. And one of the things that I knew and I prayed for is that we not be in that situation, and that we as a family, we don't have to go back there, right? And so looking at entrepreneurship was an avenue for us to do that. That was an opportunity for us to create our own destiny, our own legacy, and grew that. But what we know is growing a business is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot. And that's why I think Fulton and other partners, it's helpful to have somebody who can help you along that process, but not to give up and to know that, where you started has nothing to do with where you can end.
Mhm.
One more thing, in addition to sort of the stretching that I say, and I want it to be somewhat synonymous, is 100 no's.
Mm.
Have you ever heard that? 100
Yeah.
no's?
100 no's. And is it the 100 no's and one yes or something?
It's in a month.
Uh-huh.
You should start a list and ask 100 things, and you write that list down. And your goal is to get to 100 no's.
Mm.
But the reality is, the more you ask, you won't, and you will grow and you will get that much more.
Oh, wow.
You continue to ask, and it gets to a place that you start looking for the no, because you're like, I got to complete my list.
Right.
Oh, we want to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few people, when you get them face to face, who will say no to certain things. It's how I think we're wired as people. And so, as you look to grow business and help businesses in our community, ask, stretch.
And the worst that can happen is a no. And then you'll get a yes.
Correct.
That's the worst that can happen is a no.
But you shift, right? It's a paradigm shift for me when I was doing that, to where I start looking for the no. So I'm not, dejected. If it comes, it's like, okay, on to the next.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. And Shelonda, I'm so thankful for this conversation tonight. I really feel like we were having our own conversation, although so many people are watching right now. But I know we didn't get a chance to get to some questions, but this will be also on Facebook. It will stay up there on 92Q as well as Magic's website. So ask some questions there, and don't be afraid to reach out, because I always have our DMs open. Shelonda, she's very active on social media and just pulling up on people, and just these different events that Shelonda is doing, just making sure you're there. Can you talk about those really quick? What's open to the public?
So for CIAA, part of what we really want people to go to the CIAA.com or Baltimore.org, that lists all of the events that are happening there. There are a number of them that are free. We're having a 3-point pop-up and food trucks and all of that are out there. You'll see that on the site. So it's a number of free things there. Some other things that are coming up, not free, we're doing on March the 14th. We do what's called the State of Downtown. We have about 500 attendees come, and we talk about what's happening, what was passed, how do we fare our city compared to others, and then what's to come. How do we get in the room and talk about planning for what's next? So that's coming. The Preakness is coming. Yes. All of those are things that we have. I think that's around May 20th. So it is so many opportunities for us to engage. We are doing at Downtown Partnership, it's really exciting. If anybody is familiar with Hopkins Plaza, we are converting that into a skating rink.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we're doing it for the spring. So Springsteen will be at the arena, and we're springing forward in Hopkins Plaza. We'll have a skating rink. That's why I say it's so many things that are happening on our site that create opportunities for networking and fun.
Yes, I love it so much. Thank you so much, Shelonda, for everything. I'll see you somewhere downtown.
See you around downtown. Exactly.
I'll see you downtown. Thank you so much again for being a part of this. I look forward to collaborating. And of course, thank you to Fulton Bank for being a part of this as well and sponsoring this whole event, because without Fulton, it'll be hard to be doing this tonight, but we're going to keep these going and keep it going for us, our Black culture and our businesses, so we can continue to excel and grow and build more in the city. And we're just going to keep on doing it until we're like, you know what, I think we're okay. But that never is going to happen, because it's always going to happen. No.
Never. 100 no's. No.
That means we're never going to stop. 100 no's. All right. Have a great night, Shelonda. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. See ya.
All right. Good night.